Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going on to Bitcoin. Big of the CoinsKid crew. So in the index here, we are seeing a micro buy signal kick in for Bitcoin right there. So some of these coins, Ethereum's got a buy warning on it, XRP buy warning. So this is the micro time frame right now, okay, for Bitcoin. Now what we're seeing is a couple of buy signals, not many to be honest with you. We've got Trump, which is offering a buy signal, and if we go down the list, there is another coin I've just seen called Ray, okay, just there. So this current market cap is roughly 4 billion, and it's pricing around about 2.38 in dollars right there. So we are seeing a little buy signal. It's 44% down in the last 30 days. So this has took a bit of a bashing. So what I'm going to do is click on the chart. So what I'm looking at right now, the reason we're getting a buy signal, because you really oversold on the 4-hourly time frame. Look at that. So the last time was that oversold. It was way back there in April of last year. And then obviously we got that nice reaction to the upside. So this is what I look for, okay? This is why I created the index for you. So you can see the coins that stand out or offer an opportunity instead of scouring the charts. So my primary count at the moment is a bottom here. Okay, last year I do think a lot of these projects bottomed way back last year in late summer basically, and from there we've seen impulsive wave 1, ABC wave 2. This has been a huge third wave which is broke out, and right now it's an expanded flat wave 4 correction. Okay, so I'm looking at this because I don't necessarily think that this is impulsive to the upside. I actually think we've been in a correction since late November, early December for a lot of crypto projects, and I think this is part of an expanded flat correction. I don't see that this is impulsive to the upside. If it was, this would be a 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4 into a final fifth wave which topped there in January, and I don't quite see that in the structure and the wave count that I'm looking at Bitcoin. So what I think this is from this point here for this particular coin is basically a 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4 that's bottoming very soon, and then a final fifth wave coming up, and it's an impulsive wave. It's a 1 2 3 ABC expanded flat 4. This is the C wave of that particular correction, and this turnaround. So, you know, right now, you know, Ray's offering opportunity in my opinion, but again, nothing I say is financial advice. What I'm looking at right now is I think that this is just merely a retracement to this low here. So what we've got to do is put the fibs on from the top to the bottom, and you can clearly see where we're retracing to right now. So we've found a bit of support on the golden ratio. We've wicked below it, but I do think putting some bids on the 7 fib at $2.22 could be fruitful for this particular project for reversal, because what I think we've got here is an expanded flat ABC, and this is a C wave. This is a 1, this is a 2, and right now you're in a third wave which has lost this structural low. And like I've always taught you, you will see that in third waves, whether or not to the upside or to the downside. You know, losing support or breaking resistance, which is what this has done here, is your third wave. Do you understand that? Really simple. Okay, so for me, I would be laddering bids right now on the 786 at roughly $1.88 and the 7 fib at $2.22. I'm looking at some kind of 1 2 3 4 5 setup in this chart that will complete the C wave in 5 waves, where you got a 1 2 3 4 5 setup, and then boom, this starts to reverse and takes off into space. Okay, now the reason I'm looking at this pump over the next few weeks, possibly by mid-March into the spring right now, April and May, is because of an indicator that I create for the CoinsKid crew called the crystal ball. Okay, so I've actually refined that indicator for you. So this is Ray, and again, this is just something I'm looking at, a potential opportunity. If it breaks below and goes below that, don't shoot the messenger, but these are the opportunities I try and find in the space, and right now we're really oversold. We do have a bit of a bullish divergence building up for Ray as well. So I do think we've seen quite a lot of fear in this market, okay, where people are calling for a bear market, but I don't necessarily see any structural breakdown in Bitcoin just yet to warrant that bear market call. Okay, so basically I think this is an opportunity, Ray, going forward. Okay, you can buy some buy bit gets entirely up to you. The links are in the video description right there, but if you do go in with Ray, obviously don't go your life savings. It's just a small little position that I'll actually take and put some bids on these zones here. So let me show you the indicator I create for the CoinsKid crew, because I've refined it. I've released it on TradingView and I've refined it on the CoinsKid.com index right now. It's called the crystal ball, and so far it's playing out like a boss, and it predicts a pump roughly mid-March. Let me show you. Okay, so the crystal ball is a custom indicator that I create for the CoinsKid crew. You've got two options. You can come and view it on CoinsKid.com in the indicator section. We've got the crystal ball indicator here, the in-house indicator, and then obviously I've created a crystal ball indicator on TradingView for yourselves. Now I have applied on multiple time frames. We've got the hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, 5 day, 1 day, weekly and monthly. I have applied default settings to that particular indicator that, you know, it configures for you, so you can marry it up as best you can, but you can obviously edit that. If you click the settings on TradingView, you can change that, and I'll show you later in a Bitcoin chart right there. But by default, it's set, okay, in what I think it's set for. But obviously you can tinker with it and play with it as best you like. So on the website here, you can clearly see the orange line, which is a golden line, which is basically your crystal ball, is a forecast. You know, and remember, nothing I say is financial advice. This is not a certainty. It's not guaranteed to play out. but you know, it has been, and it's beautiful so far. So you know, until it's broken, I'm respecting this particular indicator that I've created for yourselves, the crystal ball. So basically the blue line is the Bitcoin price action, the golden line is the crystal ball, okay? And obviously it's offset by 10 weeks. Like I said to you, there's a 10-week lag, so I've played with it and I've sorted this out, and right now we can see a potential projection that, you know, we've got this bottom here, we come up and make another bottom by March the 17th, which is a few weeks away. Then we should begin to start to have a pump here for Bitcoin, which could potentially break out and make the new all-time highs, and obviously with that bottom and breakout in Ray that I'm looking at as well, and many altcoins. So this is why I don't necessarily think the bear market's in, because I want to see what this pump that, you know, the golden line, the crystal ball, is indicating. Whether or not it comes up, makes a lower high and drops, time will tell, you know. And at that point we can look at a bear market scenario, but until that day comes, I'm just kicking back, I'm relaxing, and I'm actually accumulating more altcoins here. And one of those altcoins, obviously, as you're fully aware, is FARTBOY. I think that's got potential upside on it, but also I'm going to add a little bit more Bitcoin here, okay, because I think there's a lot of fear in the market right now, and XRP as well. So you know, at the moment I just think we're going through a bottoming process of this correction, and I do think, given the fact that this crystal ball is absolutely amazing, you know, and when it starts to break out and pumps up, you do see that reaction in Bitcoin eventually. So there's a 10-week lag, really simple. So over the next few weeks we should begin to play catch up. You can clearly see, if you take a look at that top, December, literally a week later this dropped, okay? So you know, I wish I'd made this early for you, I do apologize, you know, but I've just seen this recently and I've just executed this particular index for you, okay? So let me dive into the Bitcoin chart right now to see what we can see going forward, okay? So looking at Bitcoin daily time frame at the moment, I do think a pump's coming with the crystal ball indicator that's, you know, absolutely nailed it so far. Whether or not this pump's a retracement before bear market, time will tell, but that is not my primary at the moment. I actually think that we've got an impulsive move missing here, and I see it in many other charts as well, and primarily I see it in XRP, and I relay that to you, okay? But at that point I do think, you know, you could potentially enter a bear market here for Bitcoin. So what I think we've got is a 1, ABC 2, this is a 3, ABC 4, and right now we're looking for a final fifth wave here, and this is your last fifth wave, okay, of a bigger cycle that Bitcoin's been in since way back here in this bottom here in 2022, I believe it was. So you know, what I like to do is trade patterns on this channel. For anyone that's been paying attention, we traded a beautiful diamond bottom pattern in the summer, we traded a beautiful bump and run pattern in the late summer of 2023 as well, and then we traded this ascending triangle, which is basically an Adam and Eve bottom way back there at the bottom in late 2022 as well. We got the breakout. Equally, the bigger macro pattern that we traded, for anyone paying attention, was this huge bump and run pattern here, and obviously the falling wedge as well. And like I said to you, the whole way down, once we break out for Bitcoin, we should see it on the third point in contact. We backtest typically before, you know, continuing upstairs. So this is my primary outlook way back down here, that Bitcoin would rally and break out and then get to this 1.272 fib at an absolute minimal in the bull run in 5 waves. And look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves right now. But what we've not seen in this last leg to the upside is 5 waves. I only see 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and I'm looking for that last final fifth wave, and I think potentially the crystal ball is a clue to that, and many of our altcoin charts, and primarily the XRP chart, is the clue to this final fifth wave here for Bitcoin. At that point, yeah, I do think there's a potential we could enter a bear market, okay, and obviously we could enter a bear market here, but I just need to see a little bit more structure and data. At that point, I want to see something else in another chart. It's really simple. I want to see total 2 do this thing, okay? So basically total 2 at the moment, again, this is confidence why I do think that this is just impulsive corrective, and then we've got an impulsive move missing here in total 2, because we've not seen the characteristics of the top, which is basically what we see in every single cycle. So there is Bitcoin, it comes down in the A, comes back up in B, makes a lower high, but total 2 comes down in the A, makes the higher high. That's your alt season right there, and that's typically where we see a waterfall in the Bitcoin dominance, which is what we've not seen here, okay, which is why I do still remain bullish that, you know, with this final fifth wave coming up, once we see the rug and the retracement, this is where you will see your big alt season, okay, where total 2 will do something like that and, you know, spell the characteristics of the top right there. So it's really simple. That's the confidence I'm looking at in structural data that indicates the top, okay. So I do think that right now, A, B, C, expanding flat correction, zigzag, we're looking for a final fifth wave, and the clue may be in the crystal ball and the fact that we've not got the top characteristics of total 2, which is what we've got there. But if we start to see it here, you know, where we trace for Bitcoin and this makes a lower high and drops, and we're seeing total 2 pop at that particular point, then yeah, we've got the characteristics of the top within structure, which is what we always see in every single cycle. So again, there's a bit of confidence we're missing a final fifth wave to the upside in another chart that I'm about to show you, and obviously with the Bitcoin dominance as well. So my primary at the moment is the fact that this is a correction. I keep going through this. dominance. I think we've got an A into a B into a C. We're looking at a potential bump and run pattern where you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, breakout back to see you later. You could just wait for that structure and that price structure to play out, just like we did there, just like we did there, and just like we did here, where you're breaking resistance. Go with your life savings. I'm only joking, not your life savings, but you know, you'll take a nice leverage position with a minimal stop loss. It's a minimal risk trade because of the trend line break, and then we'll ride that bad boy back up like we did here, like we did here, and like we did here, okay, in this bigger macro move. But at that point, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with the 5 waves of the last leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think we're cooked at that particular point. So my target's above $117,000 and $156,000 for Bitcoin. Does it get there? I've honestly not got a crystal ball. This is why I created the crystal ball indicator. So what are the 2 charts maybe confluence of this major breakout and continuation here for Bitcoin over the next few months once this bottoms out? I'll show you the 2 charts that are adding confluence to that particular scenario right now, okay? So the first chart is the Bitcoin dominance, and what we've not seen in this cycle, which is typically what we see in every single cycle, is the waterfall to spell the end of the cycle. We've not seen it yet, so I still think it's on the cards with a confluence of the missing 5th wave right there, and the characteristics of total 2 as well, which is basically your cryptocurrencies excluding Bitcoin. We've not seen the waterfall in the Bitcoin dominance, which is always the end phase, and obviously that printing in total 2 as well. Okay, the characteristics of the top is really simple. Bitcoin peaks, has a rug, comes back down, makes a lower high. Total peaks, comes back down, breaks out. We've not seen that right now with the waterfall, which is what we've seen there and seen there. So I still think that this is in the realms of possibility right now. Over the next few months, sometime this year, we should see that, and that for me is your top signal right there for Bitcoin and the crypto market. So this is why I do remain cautiously bullish, obviously, because there's no guarantees it will play out again, but structurally this is what we've not seen in this cycle. So this is what I've got my eyeballs on. So basically I think we've got a rising wedge here, okay, in this particular index, which is your Bitcoin dominance. It's actually a bearish rising wedge, and on the weekly time frame we do see a little bit of a bearish divergence right now forming. Okay, we've got this high here and this lower high, and we've got this high here and the higher high. Equally on the monthly time frame in this particular chart, we do see, and like I said to you, if we do start to close out up here, you've got a high and a lower high here in the RSI, okay, and then a high and a higher high here in the index. So that's actually called a bearish divergence. Now, in the next few months, if Bitcoin bottoms and this begins to roll over, this is your waterfall effect. This is your waterfall effect down to this white trend line, which is the characteristics of the top in this particular cycle. If we see that, then obviously, we cooked, okay, and you've got your characteristics of the top right there. So what is the other chart that I'm looking at that's equally confluence to the final 5th wave there for Bitcoin? Let me show you. So another key chart I'm looking at to the final 5th wave in my exit Bitcoin position right now is the Tether dominance. And this has been a chart that I've been looking at with yourselves for a very long time. It was part of confluence. When we got this drop here and we started to flag back up, I said to you, this is really bearish for this chart, which obviously inversely is really bullish for Bitcoin. And it has been, okay. On this breakdown, the descending triangle just there, we broke down way back here in November, and this drop to the downside, which is my technical target of the channel, it was a beautiful time, okay, for myself, in XRP and Bitcoin and many of our altcoins. It's been a beautiful time, but it's found support on this channel. So that was a primary target I gave you, but in a resistance, okay, it's had a back test of this resistance, which is basically where it lost its support. So we've zigzagged back up into resistance, and Bitcoin zigzagged back down into support. So if we start to see this roll over right now and start to come back down the stairs, I'm looking for this minimal target around about 3.25%, where I do think we've got an increased probability of a bear market beginning, okay, if we start to see that final 5th wave to the downside. So here was the top, you've got a double top drop, then we've got the 1 into the 2, into the 3, into the flagging 4, into the final 5th wave to the downside. And this final 5th wave, you can clearly see here right now, it should consist of 5 waves within itself. So we've got a 1, zigzag 2, 3, ABC 4, 5, and this is what I'm looking at within the Tether dominance chart. So if we start to reject here into this level resistance, basically boom boom boom, triple top descending triangle, we broke down, we zigzag back up into the resistance, and we drop again. This leg here to the downside, we will see Bitcoin and altcoins break out. So there may be a little bit of confluence with the crystal ball and the Tether dominance, and obviously the Bitcoin dominance right there, that we may be about to see a pump over the next few months, which could spell the end of this bull market within itself, okay, if we do start to see that. And again, I will be looking for this particular target here, 3.25%. I'll be looking for that as a level of support in this particular chart where I will begin to exit my position if we get down there. So we had a lovely time in this this wave here. Okay, for anyone that's been paying attention, I was incredibly bearish on this chart as this was coming up. This was making me incredibly bullish on Bitcoin, and a lot of people were trolling the channel saying you don't know what you're talking about, things like that. But like I said to you, I think once we break down this channel, my target is here, where I do expect a level of support, obviously, and a correction to incur with Bitcoin, and it's done exactly that. Okay, so that target was met, but right now I think there's a potential if we start to reject it and start to roll over, we could get down to the 3.25%, which is where I do think it could spell the end of the bull run and the final fifth wave for Bitcoin right there, and the potential of an alt season. So I'll leave you with that. Come to Tether dominance. The ticker is USD T.D. That is a Tether dominance, and obviously if this is trending upwards, Bitcoin's trending downwards. You're fully aware of that. And if it's trending downwards, which currently it is, you know, Bitcoin's trending upwards. So the trend is your friend until the end. This is in a downtrend and Bitcoin's in an uptrend. Really, really simple. Okay, hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. If you are looking to buy Bitcoin, okay, and spot positions, long position, whatever, I would highly recommend Bybit or BitGet or Mexi. The links are in the video description. And if you are looking for the indicators that I've created for yourselves, just go to CoinsKid.com and get involved. Okay, take care everyone. Back to a new update on Bitcoin. Stay up, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.